Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bows & Company. I am your host, Emily O, and I'm joined by wonderful company, our favorite company. Hello, Mom. Good to see you.
Hi, Emily. It's great to see you.
We are back again for another week of recording, podcasting, our shows here. How are you doing? What's new?
I am doing great. Spring is in the air. I had lunch today with a friend who I hadn't seen in a long time. We went to an awful restaurant. Absolutely
oh my
awful.
Gosh. Wait, stop. That's so funny, Mom.
Yes. It's a restaurant that's been around for a while. And I went to it once, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've actually prided myself on the fact that I have not been back to that restaurant. And she suggested it. And we walked in. I got there first. And they wouldn't seat you until the other person from your party was there. Kind of annoying. So there were all these like single people. This poor mom had 2 kids. She was waiting for her husband. So right out of the gate, not happy. And then my friend showed up, and I just assumed that she came there all the time. She goes, "No, I haven't been here in years."
So why did she suggest it then?
She was in the mood for matzo ball soup, and she said that they had it, and she's had it before, and for some reason, I don't know. So I didn't understand it. The waitress was just terrible. Poor thing. We felt like we were getting in trouble the whole time.
Wait, but this is so funny.
My company was fantastic.
Well, that's good. That's so funny. I feel like you never hear that from you too either, which is so funny. I mean, I know where you went, and we never go there. And anytime anyone mentions it, it's just like, oh Lord,
people love it. I do not, and it was
that was really funny, Mom. That was really funny. I enjoyed that. So maybe that was your low. The bow was your lunch, but the low was the selection of the restaurant.
Right. And I got chicken noodle soup. It was fine. It was good.
Lowly worm.
Yeah. That wasn't, maybe the restaurant was my low. You're right. But I did have another low. I told you, and you and I started laughing because I was like, gosh, what was my low this week? I ordered 3 of the same shirts.
I know. So you just told me that. And I said, well, I get ordering 2 of the same shirt, but not maybe 3.
Right.
How did we get there?
It was I don't know. Clearly, I wasn't paying attention. It was 2 separate orders, and I must have put the shirt in twice on the first order. And then a few days later, I was looking. I'm like, God, I do really like that shirt. I should get it. And I think I lost my mind. I placed 2 orders. One, the shirt was in there twice, and another time it was in there once. And I really liked the shirt.
Well, hopefully, so you'll have one. Yes. So we have 2 extra copies. If anyone, yes, you're gonna have to send.
Yes,
those
I've never done that before. Isn't that funny? Yeah,
I mean, I get ordering 2 of the same, but 3.
And it's actually, you and I saw the shirt it's a blouse in Veronica Beard in New York City, and I've kind of been obsessed with this shirt.
Which one is it?
It's just got a white bib on the front, and it's blue and white stripe. It's nothing out of the ordinary for me. Not anything I even needed. And then Dad and I saw it in New York. I'm like, gosh, that shirt is just perfect. So I think it was in that span.
Yeah. So you ordered it in bulk.
I have. Yes.
That's really funny.
Is that funny?
Yeah.
So I'm going to return the other 2.
Not us starting the show on a negative foot. What else? Any other lows?
No. I think that's pretty good. The post broke off of my earring, so I took that to the jeweler to get fixed. That was I was glad it happened, while it was in my hand.
Right.
I've never had that happen before.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't that scary, but
well, I mean, relatively speaking.
Yes.
But oh my God. Okay. Yeah. How are we getting through the week with 3 extra shirts and a broken post? And
just little
so funny
nonsense things happening.
I would say that my low, and then we'll get to your bows, obviously ending on a positive. I pulled my neck on Saturday, still recovering from that. Yeah, it was a blowout injury. I was getting a blowout. Well, actually,
this has happened to you before.
I want to know. I want to gauge the crowd. There is like a specific part of if I'm getting my hair done, that if they pull it, it can tweak. Yep. It can tweak a specific part of my neck, and it will set me back for days. Yeah. But it's worth it if my hair looks good.
I wonder if you need like neck strengthening
exercises. I have always said, whenever we go to physical therapy, I've said before that I think I have a weak neck. So I pulled it on Saturday, which was when I had all of my plans. So the entire day and rest of the night, I was like an old woman, and I had to turn my whole body around. I had no range of motion, and it kind of makes you it makes me nauseous sometimes when my neck is pulled so much. But
Well, your hair looked great.
So that was, and then I was getting my blowout, and I had gotten my hair cut the week prior. We talked about it last week on the podcast, but not enough face framing pieces. So then I was making it everyone's problem that my hair was
that is true.
not perfect. So then I was getting my blowout on Saturday morning, and the girl who does my blowout is different than the girl who cuts my hair. And so I was commiserating with the girl who was doing my blowout. So she just whipped out scissors, and she's like, let me just fix this. And she quickly added some face framing pieces.
That was brave.
And I took her hand and I said, my family will thank you for this, because
Yes.
I can stop talking about it. So that was a low turned into a bow.
That was brave.
But then the hair led into my neck being pulled. So
Right.
it was kind of like this pool of
But she's never cut your hair before.
No, but I trusted her.
That was
It was
brave.
risky, actually.
Yeah, it looks great. I thought it looked good before. It looks great now.
Now it's perfect. And what else? We just had a very
what
fun.
was your high?
I had a great weekend. That was my beau. Claire and Connor on Friday night had a conjoined birthday party, which we both were at.
Conjoined or joined. Yeah, I guess conjoined. That's like kind of, that sounds so
I
severe.
literally posted that on my story. Was I not supposed to say
Maybe
that?
that is the right word.
Joined.
I think of twins as being.
No, you're right.
I don't even know what conjoined. I guess that's right.
I
I would say
no,
a
I
joint
think you're-
birthday party. Conjoined
I've been
sounds.
saying conjoined
I'm
like
gonna
a
look it
freak.
up.
It's
Yeah.
definitely joint. I literally posted that. That's so embarrassing. It's definitely a joint birthday party. Why was I saying conjoined?
Conjoined. Twins physically joined in utero. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, I meant joint.
Yeah, I guess it can be, but it's usually meant in the context of twins.
Of course it is.
Conjoined twins.
That's so bizarro that I was saying that.
yeah,
I meant
I
joint.
heard you say
Yeah,
that.
sometimes when I say things, I'm like,
I think it was okay. No, I'm looking at the definition. Two babies born physically connected to each other.
okay, so that's not what I meant at all.
Yeah.
They had a joint
Just
birthday
a joint
party.
birthday party.
It's a safe space. This is where we clarify
Yeah.
things. So they had a combined. Maybe that's what I was looking for.
You put combined and joint.
And I said
conjoined. Like they were twins.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What a Monday that
Yeah.
we're having. So anyway, that was on Friday and it was really fun. They had a bunch of their friends over and they had some friends in town. It was at the
fun.
house.
It was nice. They invited Dad and me.
The night flew by though. I didn't leave till like 1 o'clock in the morning. It was crazy. And then Saturday we had a master's party, which was so cute. I posted about it if you want to see my outfit. And then Saturday night. Sorry, I'm back to like thinking that I'm losing my mind because I can't pronounce the words right. And then Saturday night, I went out with one of my friends and we had drinks and we bopped around and, just wreaked havoc, the usual.
Well, I'm going to jump back to the twins and their birthday party.
The twins. The birthday twins.
Claire and Connor did. They are great hosts.
Yes.
And Claire did a really cute job. She just did really colorful things, but she found super cute candlesticks from Amazon.
Yes.
And they were glass. And then she used different tapered candles. It was really cute.
It was really cute and really fun. Yeah.
Their friends are really nice. We had a fun time.
Her actual birthday is this Friday. So
Yes.
then we're doing another dinner. It's just like been a month of celebrating for them, which
I love
is so
it.
fun.
I love it.
So yeah, those are like my bows.
Your master's outfit, because we talked about it last week, was really just on point.
Yes, and I was twinning with the hostess. She also had a sweater that said Augusta, but hers was a green sweater with white lettering, and mine was a white sweater with green lettering.
And Lacey Lurch sent you those adorable golf bag earrings.
So cute.
I wasn't sure if you're going to wear them.
No, I really just leaned into the theme.
And your pom-pom
People got a
socks.
kick out of them. People got a kick.
Did they? I wondered.
Well, I had to point it out, but once I did, they were tickled.
Speaking of the Masters, I was really happy that Rory won.
I was very happy that Rory won. I feel like there was a lot of hype and camaraderie around him. I thought his daughter Poppy was adorable.
She was cute.
And I love that name. Mm-hmm. I loved our day yesterday. So relaxing. Just we had brunch and then we watched the Masters and you and I needlepointed and had jelly beans and we sat in the study and it was just a wonderful time. I was in a set. You were in a set.
It was great. Dad and I went to church early and I loved brunch. Dad and I had a great day. We went to church and then we had brunch and I tried an azalea at brunch.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's delicious. I only had a few sips.
Yeah, no,
it's so good.
It's so good. I don't know why. Like, can we order those at the bar? Or is that like, you need accoutrements for this? Because I don't know.
It
was
but
really good.
Speaking of flowers, last week you identified as a peony.
For spring.
the flower, for
Yeah,
spring.
For spring. So we have our mascot here today.
We do.
Peony is here if you're joining us on video for the podcast. She's always available to watch on YouTube. We have peonies set out for just, I thought that the viewers would maybe like to see a little bit. They're faux peonies, and they're in a Bow Club mug, of course.
Yeah, that was a cute question. If you could be any flower.
And then people were sending me what flowers they were going to be this month.
It was cute.
Speaking of flowers, you have this lovely floral blouse.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, you've been wearing your trench coat. Did we talk about this last week?
No. Well, we were talking about how everyone should have a trench coat, and I really embraced it. And I have a navy trench coat that I love. I got it last year. So on Saturday, Dad and I went out for the whole day, and I wore my navy trench coat. And he just got the biggest kick out of it because I literally looked like a detective. So I got in the car and I was like, okay, well, Anne's on the case. And we kind of kept that going the whole weekend long. And then I have another trench coat that is sleeveless. That's Veronica Beard that I've had for a few years. And I really ran with the whole detective, Nancy Drew.
Well, I sat down at brunch on Sunday and Dad starts explaining the joke, and they just like both start laughing. And he's like, so she's been a detective all weekend.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys are so funny. Like,
I do like the navy trench coat though.
Yeah, I love your Veronica Beard trench coat. You had it on again today. I think it's incredibly chic. I was pulling out. It was pouring rain all last week. Oh, my bow would be the weather. It's like spring happened overnight.
It's beautiful.
The whole neighborhood is just flowers and tulips and buds coming out. It's a beautiful thing. But definitely, well, last weekend it couldn't stop raining. So I did pull out my J. Crew trench coat, which I was going to link like a trench coat to share, and they don't have just like they have like a classic trench coat, but it's like $400.
Oh.
What happened to just like the classic trench?
Did you look at J. Crew Factory?
Yeah,
maybe
think
they're
did.
sold out as well. I'm telling you, it was because of our podcast last week where we were talking about different pieces. I made sure I wore it because this in-between weather, I sometimes think, well, I'll just go out without a coat, but now I'm grabbing the trench coat.
Well, the trench is a lovely piece, especially to like protect your look. I don't have the best other than my trench. Like today was warm enough.
Great on you.
Well, thank you. I love it. But like today I just did no coat because it's like 60 degrees outside.
Right. I did that sleeveless one, which is really cute.
Super, super cute. So yeah, lots of bows, lots of lows, lots of just nothing really earth shattering happening, but lots of little things.
I had a great day. I would say that my bow was Saturday.
Yes.
Dad and I went on a field trip. We were gone the whole entire day. We had so much fun. We had like little errands to run. And then it just turned into a nice lunch. We went to Chagrin Falls, which is not too far from us. And it was packed. Tons of people out.
I feel like Chagrin Falls is always busy.
Yeah, it was lovely. We had a great time.
Well, that's good. Yeah, you guys did have like a really fun day. I know. I feel like we've had a lot of, again, we have Claire's birthday coming up, which is going to be so lovely, and Easter. I feel like we've been talking about Easter. Maybe it's just because we are here week after week, but like, I feel like we've been talking about Easter for months. But
yes.
And yeah, Elizabeth, somebody asked today, they were asking for updates on everybody. So Elizabeth was living her best life this weekend. She was at a formal. She was in Tennessee.
So far away. Why do we have to do that?
I don't know. I love when they come up with these things. Like, let's just everybody pack up a car and go 8 hours away. And
right. Do the same thing that we could just do nearby.
Yeah.
But she had a blast.
But that was leading me into Laura, who works on the Emily on Bows team, kind of put together a lovely little gift guide for the grads.
Yes.
And so, I need to start brainstorming like what I'm going to get her. If you're listening, Elizabeth, I don't have your gift yet, but like what I'm going to get her for graduation. So it's like that time, to get those things together.
Elizabeth already has this, but I just was thinking, because I love thinking about gifts and brainstorming. Kyle Cavan is a really nice online, I think they have a catalog of some sort, but online jeweler, and they do all different universities.
Yes,
you have some, but that's like a great, Elizabeth already has it, but you can get like coins or medallions, and it's got some special building from different campuses. So if you are looking for grad gifts, I love that Kyle Cavan stuff.
That's perfect. Like you said, Elizabeth already has some pieces, but if you don't and you're really stumped on it's a good price point too. That's a really great suggestion.
It's a great price point, and it's subtle. So you can, it just looks like a round disc. I think they engrave too. I'm not really sure.
I think they do. Yeah.
But they have cute stuff. And then they also have like 3D pendants. Like at Miami of Ohio, I think it's called the Upham Arch. And you can actually get the arch. So I think for different universities, I love their stuff.
I do too. That's a really good suggestion. And Laura like rounded up a few other pieces. When I was getting my blowout before on Saturday, girl who was doing my hair, she was saying that they had prom. Our high school had prom this weekend. Did you know that?
Well, that makes sense.
Doesn't that seem early?
Super early.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised by that.
I feel like we skipped over the whole like.
I actually forgot about prom.
Right.
I would say I always think prom's a May thing, but I get
our high school had prom. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh.
You know what? Maybe it's a good idea. Sometimes they put it earlier if it's hard to get a venue or something.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I know.
I do think
things.
Yeah, the graduation gifts. Those are kind of fun to think about.
Okay, so I did gauge Bose and Company on Instagram to kind of see certain topics that you wanted to hear, just to make sure we're still discussing things that you want to hear about on our show. And we were receiving a lot all about travel and our upcoming trips and packing and how we plan trips, mostly meeting you, and everything surrounding that, because I do feel like we are heading into that time where people will be moving and cruising perhaps.
Well, and I think I got a few DMs as well after last week's podcast, because travel planning takes a lot of time.
It does. It does.
As we talked about last week, and I think this is a great topic. I think we should start from the beginning. What kind of luggage do you have?
You know what? And that is constantly a problem
It
with
is,
me.
always.
Actually, we really need to like kind of figure this out before we go on the big trip this summer, because I have like a set of Mark and Graham pieces, which I really like, but those kind of can't always fit everything. And then Elizabeth has like this amazing Away suitcase of. So I think what we're going to do is I want to order a set of Away luggage, because the beige ones are good, but they're pretty old and they're like actually falling apart at this point. So I think a black, like medium-sized checked bag Away luggage, and then maybe like a matching carry-on. That's kind of what I've arrived at.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
I think those are great thoughts, because we kind of weeded out, and I think that would be an excellent choice. I bought new Away medium-sized pieces for Dad and me. I do not like the hard shell.
Yes.
I don't like, I mean, if you go into a hotel and they have a luggage rack, you can't really hold the hard shell because it opens up in half and things are falling over. So I still kind of like a soft.
You're a soft top girly. You are.
I am a soft top girly. And Away has that now. It's a newer piece. So I bought Dad one in black, and I have it in navy.
I really like those. They're very Ann and Terry coated. Mm-hmm. And Claire
also, well, in addition, I bought the corresponding little tote. I actually haven't used it yet, because I usually just take my purse.
Right.
But the bag that, that has this thing in the back and it can slide over the handle.
Right.
That matches it. And I do like the navy. It's very sharp.
Very sharp. I do like a coordinating situation in any form.
Yes. Claire and Connor also have Away. They have the hard shell.
Okay.
And then Elizabeth, hers is also the hard shell.
So I think I'm the only one without the Away.
I think that is correct.
But I've pushed Elizabeth's before, and maybe it's because it was newer, but it was very smooth. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking that that's what I will be getting for this upcoming trip. And I do like my little like Mark and Graham carry-ons if I'm just going somewhere for like 2 nights, because they're just like really cute. They don't really fit a whole bunch, but they're very like aesthetically
They're darling.
So that's kind of where we start, which is the luggage. We always have kind of this uphill battle of the travel tote, the travel purse, because I
have trouble.
Need to bring like my laptop, but you want it to be able to zip and fit under the seat. Yeah.
I think that topic is not discussed enough.
No.
I think it is always a problem, because I want my carry-on, like my purse tote bag, to zip if possible.
Yeah.
And I don't have any that zip like that.
No, they don't make totes that zip.
And I don't usually I could do 2 things. I don't want to carry a shoulder bag. Let's just say, you've got your suitcase, or you're checking your suitcase, but then I don't want to carry a purse and a big tote bag. So I try and get a purse that acts as a tote.
Yes.
Because I find that my stuff gets lost in the bigger carry-on if I'm carrying it as a purse.
And some people travel more lightly, like with just their tote. They don't maybe have as much like a book, but I feel like I'm bringing like equipment. I'm bringing like my camera stuff, and like I don't always want to put that in my suitcase unless I'm checking it.
So right now you have a large collection of them. What is your go-to?
It's just my go yard. which I love. I'm not saying like just my Go-Yard, because that can like kind of, I mean, that purse can literally hold. It could hold. I swear it could hold a bowling ball and not
The
break.
only issue is when you're going through security, you have had stuff spilling out because there's
totally.
no zipper, there's no closure.
There's no closure whatsoever. So it's usually just a Go-Yard. I also have like that Prada nylon tote, but that also doesn't have a
not
zipper.
quite as big.
So
I do still like the MZ Wallace. I have a couple different ones.
yeah, but that doesn't have any structure to it. So I feel like I'm just carrying around a potato sack.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like dramatic, obviously, but that's kind of like I still like to have some sort of structure to it. So if anybody from the audience has something that they really have found to be good,
You know what? I'm going to back up a second. For years, and I don't know why I got rid of it. I got rid of my large Longchamp. I think it was just beat up. I had used it so much. I might get that.
yes, I've seen. Of course, that's always a good
The
one. To fall
large
back
one,
on.
because you can also fold those up and snap it. So when you get to wherever you're going, if you're not using it again until
Right.
you're traveling.
Yes,
But that's a good one.
downsizing, like when I got my laptop this summer, it was like significantly smaller than my old one, so that's really helped a lot because I'm not carrying around as big of a computer. But yeah, I would really love to kind of have this worked out by the time we go away. With our away luggage. But yeah, that's kind of where we begin.
What about packing cubes? How do you feel about those?
We have great packing cubes. I don't know, you have a bunch of those that are always. Where did you get those?
You have some, I feel like somebody, Paravel or something, sent you really cute ones with your monogram.
Yes. So I
And
always have
then
good packing cubes.
I just use some from Amazon.
Okay, we'll link them. But yeah, I'm always using, and we do the whole hanger method where we leave like long pieces or dresses or pants or whatever, and we leave them on the hanger and we like fold them into the suitcase. We did that when we went to Palm Beach, and then it's great because you could just take everything out.
Right. I will say back, I still wanted to talk about the packing cubes because I love that part. We did have the CalPack ones. Those are like sturdy, but they're almost too thick and bulky, I think.
Why
Do you
can't
know
I
which
remember
one
the
I'm
CalPack?
talking
You mean
about?
the gold ones?
Yeah, the gold ones.
Yeah, they are too thick. You're right. I like the gray ones.
They're pretty. The gray ones are from Amazon, and they're really very light. I do like packing cubes just from the standpoint of wherever you get, you can just like your clothes are just in them, and you can put that like in a dresser if you're getting to wherever you're going,
yeah.
and then your clothes aren't, in this random dresser. They're
Right.
in the packing cubes. I do like that. Depending on where you're going, I do use that hanger method, which I like.
I don't know if I'll do the hanger method though, like on this upcoming
I
trip,
won't
because
either.
like that's going to be us moving a little bit more. So I don't think that would work.
And it does. I do think it takes up some room.
Yes. We're going to work on this upcoming trip. We want to do more capsule wardrobe vibes because
Should we say where we're going?
well, that's up to you. I don't know why we're
Yeah, it's not a big secret
no, it's
or
not that big
anything.
of a deal.
It's not a big deal at all. I mean, we're excited about it, but we're going to go to Paris and then we're going to go to London.
And then we're ending in
So
Dublin.
that was really dramatic.
Okay,
for
so
two
we're
places. It's not a big deal. We're going to Paris and London, and we're ending in Dublin.
Yes. So that's our trip right after Elizabeth graduates.
And I will say, if you were listening last week, I think the trip planning process for me was difficult because I was trying to coordinate a lot of different things. We needed to end in Dublin.
Right.
For an event, and it was just trying to schedule it, and I was trying to see the world in a very short amount of time, and I had to think through it. And I do think when you're planning a trip, sometimes just finding where the right spot is, that was actually the hardest part for me. Well, one of the things is that and finding the perfect spot and trying to figure out, and once you can narrow that down, and that's why I had such a hard time, was figuring out, do we want to go to the French Riviera? Like, these are all fun things to explore. But as we were saying, we haven't been back to Paris in a little while, and it's fun to go back to these places as adults.
Oh, I'm so excited. And I think the time of year is going to be really fun. And, just to kind of just go back again and see it. And I'm going to be Emily in Paris, which I'm very excited about.
And I do think it's fun because we've been there before. And I oftentimes feel this way. Like, it's so great to try something new, but it's also fun to go back to places you've been before. And there's endless things to do in all of these places. And I think I had to come to grips with that. Like, okay, this is going to be a good plan.
Yes, for sure. So we're kind of starting to think about looks and outfits. And that's also, I think, kind of leading into the planning of it all, making sure that you have kind of working backwards on that.
And if you are planning the trip, I think the best thing is once you get the structure, and for anyone who's planned, I mean, you've got to get the flights.
Right.
And then figure out the hotel. So we have the shell of the trip figured out.
Yes.
And then I've just started making some reservations at different things. We might try and go to the French Open while we're there.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm just making a list of all those little things to get done.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and then that leads into this color scheme.
Well, right. We still have to kind of work out some of the details. But we're thinking navy, white, pink, like florals. Obviously nothing groundbreaking, but I kind of like having a color scheme for the trip because that way we'll be able to pack less, but work with a lot more outfits, kind of mixing and matching some items. So that's kind of what we're thinking right now, especially because when we're going is, I feel like it lends itself to those colors. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. I've been looking on Pinterest for inspiration. I feel like I need some hats and maybe a beret.
Oh, you're going to Emily in Paris.
Emily
for
in
sure
Paris.
You need a beret.
Yes.
I usually feel like I do like a black and white, maybe khaki kind of a thing. But I sort of like this navy pink. We're all going to be,
Yeah, it's going to be raining the whole time. So yeah, that's kind of what we have so far for the trip. We will keep you updated on that. I feel like people want more in depth about it, but like honestly, we're just like, we came up with a color scheme. That would be a really great suggestion. No, seriously, like a good suggestion for your trip if you're having a hard time, especially like where we're going. I feel like it's very easy to dress for, so that kind of takes the legwork out of that. And then maybe just like shoes, I think, are actually like more important than you think when you're traveling, just to have like really good shoes for all of your looks. And yeah, that's kind of packing.
I think too, I do know, and I can speak for when you were little, I do remember when you got to a certain point where I didn't have to pack for you anymore. Do you remember I would make you a checklist?
Yes, of course.
And I think that's helpful. I still do that. And then sometimes I'll just copy it and give it to you guys. Mm-hmm. But packing is a project. And I think having, like you mentioned, shoes, I definitely think like we're going to Europe. I don't want a massive amount of luggage.
No.
I'm not going to bring anything. Like we were talking about going to the French Open and you had found the cutest beaded bag that has tennis rackets on it.
Yes.
It looks just like a Staud purse, but it's from Anthropologie. And we were getting excited, and then we had to say no. Like, you're not bringing one tennis handbag for one night. Like, if you were going closer or whatever, that would be fine.
Right. So we're thinking more like straw, and then you can, like, rewear that for something else.
Right.
So you just got to, maybe reining it in would be the good suggestion.
Yes. And I do think that with anything else, planning ahead and making a list, like, I'll probably realistically, if we're gone 10 days, I'll probably just bring, like, maybe 2 dresses.
Yes. Yeah.
And rework it.
Yeah.
I'll probably really only bring like 3 to 4 pairs of shoes.
Correct. Yes.
And one might be just like a little flat sandal with pearls on it or something that won't take up very much space, but that I can put on with a dress, or if we've been walking all day, I can put it on with pants and it still looks a little dressier.
I agree. I would say, like, obviously, the first instinct is always to buy a whole new wardrobe for your vacation, which I totally, because you're like, what character am I playing today? But I would say if you were going to purchase something new, it would be like a comfortable travel set, because I think starting and ending with something where you feel put together and just a full like look, like monochromatic, whatever, I think that would be something that's always good to invest in. And that could be anywhere from an Amazon look, or like a Spanx set.
That's also a great idea, because I feel like at the end of the day, if you don't want to put pajamas on, but you guys are back at the hotel and you're relaxing, you can put that set on.
Correct.
Easily.
Yeah. So that's definitely what I would suggest.
Yes.
I love whenever, I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off. It's like when that like the hat's not fitting in the purse, or like the suitcase, and like they're wearing it in the airport, with like their set, and there's like the end of the trip and they've got like,
all sorts of things on.
Exactly. Yeah.
I am going to bring a blazer.
Of course. Well, duh. I mean, is the sky blue? Is Anne going to be in a blazer? Obviously.
Right. So I'll probably bring a navy blazer, and I might bring a couple of little Veronica Beard dickies. So I can, depending on the weather, I'd be able to do that. I'm also thinking that we will do a couple of lady jackets, each of us, or a cardigan, because it's the end of May. So it's going to be.
Yeah, we were discussing lady jackets, ballet flats. I got to get to the cobbler ASAP.
Yes,
Somebody
you do.
remind me that I got to take my shoes to the cobbler because I think I've talked about this before. My little Chanel ballet flats, they remind me of little feet. Like they're just
probably a half size
too small. They make my feet look so small. So I do want to have those stretched out because I think they could be very comfortable, like, you know, bopping around, but they're just a little too small. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that fixed before we go to Paris, right? Because I have to have a Chanel ballet flat in Paris.
I also want to find a good. I mean, I'm sure I have a handbag, but I want a good. I'm not a crossbody person, but I'll probably do crossbody.
Oh, okay.
You know what I had for years? I think they still make it. It was a Prada nylon black crossbody. However, that doesn't go with my color scheme. Oh my
God.
Navy. I need a navy crossbody.
We need a navy crossbody. Okay, everyone remain calm, which is why it's important to start early with these things. Yeah.
I do have a really pretty scarf. Not that anyone cares. That is sort of navy and white. Like I'm going to bring that because that could make an outfit look really cute.
Maybe we'll start sharing some things for people like mood boards or whatever. I mean, maybe you're not going to these exact places, but I think it could always help. You know,
I think
just
so.
For inspiration in general. So yeah, we're very much looking forward to it, and packing is always a production. I think just working backwards and, you know, seeing the most important elements that you need is great.
What's also amazing about when you're packing, because we have a studio with racks in it,
right?
And like when we went to Palm Beach, it was so fantastic because we just hung everything. So if you do have somewhere in your house, or you can make a section in your closet, I think I just thought of this idea. I think I'm going to do this.
Oh my God. Did I just come up with something brilliant?
Instead of like, I think as I acquire things or things come in like in my mind, like I just said, my navy blazer, I think I'm going to scooch stuff down in my closet.
Scooch.
And I'm going to put my navy blazer in my new travel section.
I'm obsessed.
That I just created right now.
Oh my gosh. Not us coming up with new systems in real time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because then it's not so daunting.
Yeah.
When you get, because I would like endless amounts. Like if I could take a huge trunk, right. Maybe 3 trunks, I would love it. If I could have someone load those for me, bring them, it really is difficult for me to not have choices and options.
Yes. I get overwhelmed on trips with like the upkeep of it all. You don't seem to have this problem because like you always look good no matter where you are and what you're doing. But like nice. My hair doesn't last for like, unless I'm going someplace for 2 days. Like this is the stuff that I get overwhelmed with. So like in Palm Beach, like midway throughout the trip, like I went and got a blowout, you know, to like
I'm sure you'll be able to do that.
I'm thinking I would be able to do that too, but then it's like I want to be tan, but I'm not going to be able to be tan for this. So that's where I really get lost and kind of in the weeds with things.
Could you just put your hair up under your beret?
I mean, maybe if you see me in a beret for 10 days straight, just know that we've had a hair crisis. Yeah.
You know, I can't relate to that. I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I understand. That would be nerve-wracking.
I also feel this is going to get kooky. Does anybody else feel like when they're traveling, their body retains too much salt and you get really puffy? You don't have this problem. I swear to God, I leave feeling the best I've ever felt in my entire life. I'm tan, my hair's done, and I come back never looking worse. And
you do say this. You know what? I think it's very common to go on a trip and you're out of like a routine.
But it happens everywhere I go, every single trip. Like
I see.
Yeah. And you don't seem to have that. I literally I get so, I don't know if it's maybe like the sleep or the food, but I get so puffy after travel. Yeah. No, it's not interesting. It's not fun. It's actually like I see people bring like, I don't think those de-bloat pills are good for you or like whatever, but if you travel and you have this situation where you kind of get puffy or do
you drink enough water?
Probably not. But I also actually, yes, I do. I drink a lot of water. I feel like at meals and stuff.
You do not look puffy to anyone. I mean, I don't feel the best after I get back from a trip because, you know, first of all, the trip is over and re-entry and you've indulged a little bit more on eating or whatever. But this is...
I would just I think I'll be able to find a blowout place. Like, that's not what I'm worried about. But, like, if you guys have, like, a travel tanning routine and a travel de-bloating routine, like, that's why I got my dry brush because I'm hoping that maybe, like, you know, just let me know. You know where to find me, right?
I'm going to throw something out, and I don't want you to get mad about this.
If you say ponytail, I'm ending the show.
Nope.
Okay,
I'm not. Right. I know not to say that.
We're done. If you say ponytail, we are signing off.
I know better. I know better than to say the P word. No way.
Whenever I have it, she's like, what about a pony? I hate my hair in a ponytail.
No.
You'll never see me in a ponytail.
Okay, so
sorry, go ahead.
Hopefully this won't be as bad. But the tanning situation, it seems to last for a few days the way you do it, and looks great. Have you ever thought about, like in this situation, now be open, okay? All right.
Okay.
What about like a Jergens? Or I have one upstairs. I haven't used it yet, but I was influenced by somebody, and it looks like it's an instant kind of a situation. I'm not making eye contact with you because I don't want you to get upset with me, but maybe something like that.
Like a gradual. I could be open to a gradual situation.
Like what if you did your tanning situation before we went, but then I don't know if you could do this. Can you put like a Jergens or something on top of that so that it could gradually on top of the other thing?
I like how you're thinking. And this like wouldn't be an issue if I wasn't posting. Like I would just go about my merry way. I want to get content and I want my content to be the best. So let's say we didn't have that. Then I would just be pale and be on my merry way.
But I don't go. I try not to be pale and on my merry way. I use a gradual tanning on my legs or whatever. I'm not trying to, have a dark tan, but I want a little color because my legs are really pale.
But you don't like tan your neck and everything and your face.
I don't.
No.
But I do think that you could, I think that it's good to plan ahead because all right,
I'm going to look into some gradual tanning options.
What about the drops? Like, aren't there those? No.
Yeah, no. And then the pores are getting clogged up, and then I could see myself getting a rash. Like, then we enter into a whole other problem.
This is terrible. The good thing is that it's not super hot or anything. I will tell you, if you really want to know, one of the reasons I took the French Riviera out is because I thought from a packing standpoint, we were going to be in various climates, and then that's like a whole other situation.
Totally.
And not warm enough.
I just feel like I have had a consistent problem for the past, I'm going to say 5 to 6 years, where I cannot sustain looking my best on a trip. I'm going to put that out there. This is a safe space. I've thought about it for a while. I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I would like your guys' tips on traveling, on beauty hacks, and I will report back. You don't have this problem. You always, every time you look good. You look well rested. You don't get puffy. Like you're not super pale. You don't have a hair problem. Like
I think you're being really hard on yourself.
Nobody thought that this was going to turn into a rant, but I found a way. I found a way.
No idea these were such strong
I'm already
issues.
worried about it.
Well, I'm going to see if one of the hotels we're staying in has a salon because I think my trip could be ruined.
I feel confident that both hotels that we're staying at in Paris and London will have a salon for hair. So that's great. So we've gotten the hair. So that just means 2 blowouts and we're good to go.
And then I really feel like you could do the gradual tanning or an instant one. When we're done podcasting, I'm going to take you upstairs and show you what I have. And I'm going to suggest you try it.
All right. I think I should do a trial run before.
Yes, you could. Oh, for sure. Do a trial run before.
Could you imagine the horror if it
No.
doesn't work out? Yeah.
And stuff explodes in your new away suitcase.
No, literally. Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know. I just would like to know how everyone is feeling and looking their best on trips.
Okay, I have another question. What are your favorite DOP kits? Or do you have one?
I just got some new ones sent to me from a brand. Oh, I forget what they're like. It's called Sprinkled Pink, but I love the ones that you order for us that are like lined.
Yes, they don't make those anymore. I ordered them from this really cute store on Armitage in Chicago. Yes. All She Wrote, and they don't carry the brand anymore. And I would just call and order them, like once a year. Right. I would give you new ones. The other brand that I like is Travel, TRVL.
Okay,
those are nice. They're nylon. They come in gingham check. They're lined inside. I think they have flower ones too, but that sprinkled pink.
With pink, yeah. They sent some personalized DOP kits, so I'm excited to switch out for spring.
Yes, summer. My new favorite one is from Frances Valentine. Actually, it's not my new favorite. I got a new one, but I've been using that brand for a while, and it's a big square. It's kind of plasticky, and it's a nice size. It opens up.
Lovely.
I love it. It's got monkeys on it or something.
Monkeys.
It's super cute.
Okay,
like pink monkeys.
Yeah. Wow.
But I do think that's a good.
I think having DOP kits are great. Having a jewelry organizer I always love because those are super helpful. Any compartments to just kind of keep things as organized as possible. Maybe like I always have like a technology pouch, even if you're not bringing like lots of cameras or whatever, like for your AirPods or your chargers or anything like that.
Right. I do think
keep that in your tote. A book, of course. Needlepoint, maybe I'll bring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because those little scissors can go.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
How is your needle pointing?
It's good. I got so much done on my project last night. I might do a little bit more this evening because I do want to finish it up. It's the first project that I got, and then I don't have another one after that. So
we might have to get another one.
I think
going.
I might have to have another one going, but I've been loving it, and I'm so excited that I have this hobby.
I'm so happy that you learned it. It's so good.
I'm just still thinking about my tanning and my hair.
I know. I'm trying to think of
such
other
shallow topics that we're bringing up.
Yeah, but you know what? It brightens everyone's day. And there are things that people...
No, I ask my friends about it. Sometimes I'm like... Because I feel like we got to pull the curtain back. What is everybody's routines? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know? So...
And I do like... a good travel mood board. I like... You know what I'm not into? I actually am pretty efficient about what on a trip like this, I'm not just hurling everything in there. I'm pretty tight and efficient on what I have.
Yes.
A lot of mix and match situation. But I am not a gadgety person. Like I follow people and they get on the plane and they have like things that hold their phone they have, portable fans and the neck things. I don't have all that kind of stuff.
No,
I like to be simple that way. I do think noise canceling Headphones
for sure
are very good to have.
That's going to be much needed. Yes. But if there is a gadget that is like life changing that you think that we would like.
Well, that's true.
You know
what you guys used to have? I don't know if you have little kids, are those nice travel blankets.
Oh, those were nice. Yeah.
And they zipped up. Those are always good to have if you're going on a long flight.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And especially for little kids, it was good because then when you got to wherever you're going, it could be like their blankie. Not their official one, but.
Right. No, we knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people do like skincare and like face masks and eye patches and stuff on the plane.
I do not.
I don't do no. But maybe we'll see.
Right.
So yeah, those are our trip planning, packing suggestions. I'm not quite sure if there was a lot.
I don't know if we
there,
helped
but
anybody.
I think it's good that we talked about it, and we're so excited for our upcoming trip. And I'm sure we'll keep you guys updated with things that we find and places that we're going. So, that's kind of our Monday episode. We sometime in the next couple weeks we want to have Terry, you, me, the three of us on a show that keeps getting requested. I think that would just be so much fun.
I think we would have a great time. We tried to do it this week, but Terry's pretty busy.
Terry's very busy. And we didn't want, and then we were like, well, we have to talk about the packing and the planning. So we'll just push that later on. So I just thank you all for listening and joining us for this week, for this fun little chit chat. We hope you're doing well. And, happy Easter to one and all. Finally, she's here.
She's here.
Yes.
I will say I love jelly beans. And
yes, Anne loves jelly beans. Yeah.
I had some.
We polished off a few yesterday
I did
during
have
our Master Sunday.
I buy them thinking that everyone else, like I have to have these because everyone's going to want them. And it turns out I'm really the only one that likes them.
I would definitely go for a chocolate over a jelly bean, but I have a few. Yeah. But you love them.
I love them. And Dad's like, oh, sure, I'll have one. And he reaches in and he takes one.
Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh.
He's not into it. He likes the chocolate.
He likes the chocolate. He's like me. He likes the chocolate. But I think it's festive and fun to have him in the house.
Yes.
Be sure to follow me on Instagram, shop our Bow Club collection, and I hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you next week. Thank you all for listening always and supporting. You all are the best.
Thank you.
I will probably see you next week on the show, Anne, as well. Thank you always for joining us. And remember that everything is in fact better with a bow. Bye-bye now.